Hello and welcome to the Jacob and Coffee Real Estate Podcast, where we talk about all things real estate over a great cup of coffee. I'm your host today, Jacob Schuler, and today we're going to be talking about interest rates and what they mean for you. But before we get into that, I want to send a big shout out to Moon Crater Coffee here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. They do a great job over there of roasting beans. They don't own a storefront, but they do roast beans to order. I've talked with Rainey Rogers, who is the head of Moon Crater Coffee, and he said that when they get an order, they roast it the day they send it out or the day before they send it out to you, so you can get some of the freshest beans possible. He does a great job over there, and I appreciate him giving us a bag to sponsor this show. If you want to suggest some coffee for me to try, I'm always open to suggestions. Would love to try just different coffees on the show. Maybe talk a little bit more about coffee. I mean, he does a great job with this is a medium roast, and it's got some sweet undertones to it. It finishes really well. There's no bitterness or anything. So I just appreciate him and for giving us a bag for the show. And just he's got good stuff. So check him out, mooncratercoffee.com, and just go ahead and order a bag and see what you think about it. It's worth a shot. A good coffee is always worth a shot. So you think I need to try coffee on the show, let me know. Would love to try different coffees on the show. I just love trying different coffees, period. I don't have to be on a show to do it. Just trying different coffees. So you may wonder where I am. Funny story, the last couple weeks have been kind of hectic and chaotic. The AC went out at the other office, so it was like 100 degrees in that room. I was not going to sit in there and sweat my face off to try to do this. Was unable to get it fixed in a timely manner, so we finally got somebody out there to fix it, and then as soon as it was fixed, we had roofers come because we had a pretty bad hailstorm that came through, damaged the entire roof. The whole roof needed to be replaced. So we had roofers up there just last week, and they were hammering away. So I went in there to try to record this podcast, and they were just boom, 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 all over the place. There was no way I was going to get it recorded there. So here we are, and my wife took the camera that I normally use. I normally use a mirrorless Lumix GH4, to shoot my podcast, and she took that to go photo shoot a delivery. Her cousin was giving birth, and she ran up there, kind of a last minute thing. So here I am. Thank the Lord they have 4K on these cell phones nowadays. So cell phone, the old trusty Focusrite interface. We're able to find some way to get it done. But here we are, talking about interest rates today, what they mean to you. So I know I talked a little bit about it in a previous episode, but I want to revisit it because that's all I'm hearing about right now is people talking about interest rates and interest rates. Are they going to go up? Are they going to go? Are they going to stay the same? And I just think, why are you so focused on the rate right now? And here's why it just kind of boggles my mind. Human beings are so forgetful of the past when their mind is fixated on something else, right? And maybe I can let me try to break that down. And that sounds really vague, I know, but where I'm getting is a little over 2 years ago, 4% high fours interest rate was not unheard of. I mean, that was something that was normal. The first house I bought was at 4.95% interest rate. So now that I'm seeing these rates come back to kind of normal, maybe just a little bit higher than what it was a couple years ago, but then I think, well, it's just kind of rising with everything else. It seems like it's on par with everything. I don't know why we forget so much, because we went into this period of like 2% interest rates. That has never been seen before, but we got so used to it so fast. So many people heard, well, Johnny down the road got his at 2.5, and then my cousin got his at 2.25. So it must be the norm now. There's no way that could sustain, because the Fed was dropping it to like 0% at their level. There's no way that could sustain. So we got so used to it so fast and we forgot what normal actually was. But if you are in a qualm with thinking, what am I going to do with the interest rates rising? I talked about this in my loan types video, but I'm going to bring it up here again. They make loan products called ARMs or ARMs. People call them ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages. And all that means is you are able to lock a rate in for a shorter period of time. You know, if typically you have the 15-year fixed, the 30-year fixed. This is like 5 or 7 years. Different lenders will do different terms, but the majority of them are like 5 or 7 years. And what that is you just lock that rate in at whatever the current market offering is, and then at the 5-year renewal, you're able to do what you want, whatever you need to do. If the rates are lower, you can go ahead and lock it in at a 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed, or repeat the process and just do another ARM. So this is a way to kind of get out of what you think might be high interest rates at the moment. Because sure, they could drop again in 5 years. I don't know, maybe, but you can't really judge the whole market or the whole lifetime of your house note by what is right here. So that's an option for you. A book, I know I've mentioned it here before. Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he said poor people say, I can't afford it. Rich people say, how can I afford it? And essentially, he's saying, get creative. If you look at just the interest rate, and that's the only thing that's hanging you up from buying a home that you want to live in, you've got to get creative and not and stop thinking so one-dimensionally. There's no, I don't know what that is. There is a saying that says, marry the house, date the rate. So if you find a house that you want, do what it takes to get in the house. You can renegotiate things later on. I mean, very few things in life are absolutes, and that even comes with buying a house. There are ways to do what you need to do to try to get the house that you want, and then after you're in it, you can kind of even negotiate some stuff with your lender. A closed mouth never gets fed. Keep trying to get into that house, and don't let a rate hang you up on buying that house. And I know that people think, well, I can't afford the house that I want. And again, we humans, we tend to forget where we were, because 2 years ago, people who were looking at a $150,000 house, when those rates tanked like they did, maybe they were able to afford, just looking at the payment schedule, maybe they were able to afford a $200,000 house. So that short window of them being able to afford that payment, now they think that that's what they should have, is a $200,000 house. When in reality, if all things, other things being equal, if things went normally and we didn't have what was weird in the last couple of years, they never would have tasted that dream of a $200,000 house in the spot in the area of life that they were in. Now maybe in a few years they'd be able to afford more, and we hope so. When that's the goal. That's welcome to America, the land of opportunity. So that's the goal, is to try to get better earnings, better wages, live a higher quality of life in this country. So hopefully they will be able to afford that, but at the time they won't be able to. So we forgot because of the rate drop. So that's the word that's on everyone's lips right now. Rate. I don't care about the rate. I'm caring about, am I able to get this home that I want? And for you, if you're using me, are you able to get this home that you want? What can we do to try to make this thing happen? And it's not all wrapped up in the rate. We can get creative with this thing. So that's just a little encouragement for you today. Looking forward to spending some more time with you guys. Maybe I'm thinking about doing a segment of going through the downtown Jonesboro area, maybe once a month, and kind of just talking to some people that I find there. Maybe ask them if they have any questions about real estate. Maybe what were some common concerns that they have? What are some common questions that they maybe don't know? Or I might even run into some people who have, well, I'm sure I will. run into some people who've done this much longer than I have, and they can even give me advice and give me some pretty good pointers. So be exciting to watch. Looking forward to that coming next month. I want to see you all here too. Maybe introduce some more coffee stuff. Just always looking to expand. You have any comments or suggestions? Would love to hear from you. Send me an email at jacobandcoffeepodcast@gmail.com or leave a comment down below on whatever platform you're consuming this content on. If you're listening to Apple or Google Podcasts, would love to hear from you. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, again, love to hear from you. Just leave a comment down below. Send me a message. And I would love to get back. Also, check me out on all my social media links and check out all the great things that are happening. Just excited to be a part of this and looking forward to be with you guys here again next week. So until then, make sure to live life one cup at a time.